Say it in comments. Say it in comments.
You're listening to Say It in Common, where we talk about it all, not just Dungeons and Dragons. I'm AJ Cannon.
Seth Templin.
Tyrone Merle.
And I'm last, and I'm Dustin.
All right, and I forgot we were going to maybe wait for Anthony, but Anthony Tate will probably be here in a minute.
Probably.
And this episode and every episode is brought to you by Tiger Skull RPG.
Tiger Skull.
Go check them out at tigerskullrpg.com and use our code Commoners30 for 30% off everything in the store.
Oh, we do still have that? I
still
meant to
have
ask you, because I heard there was another thing, Stellaris or something. Or something. No, so it was
Polaris?
Polaris.
That was just a different code I hollered out last time because he had told me that on my mini factory he had another sale going over there.
Gotcha,
So
okay.
Anyway, go check him out on Instagram and go to his link tree, see what all Tiger Skull RPG has to offer. He's working on a video game right now. Anyway, thanks to Tiger Skull RPG. Also, before we get started, might as well mention to you that you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Commoners Official, and on YouTube, we're The Commoners. We got some cool stuff on there that not many people have watched yet, but if you have watched it, tell your friends. And then you can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/commonersofdnd with an N. We do streams on Monday and Friday at 7, usually,
When we can.
when we can.
We're busy adults.
Friday became tough for me, but eventually I'll get things cleared up, and we'll be good.
Yeah, but follow us on Instagram, because I always post when we're going to stream and try to post that afternoon, so you'll know when we are going to stream. But we've been having some fun over there, and then me and Seth talked last night and downloaded some new games that maybe we can play.
Dead by Daylight.
Deathloop.
Deathloop. All free.
Deathloop is a single-player game, isn't it?
No,
You can play with two.
You can play with two.
Play two online. So
Because I
if
think
we've
you can
got
be
a
the person
two-man-
hunting the guy, and you can be the guy.
Oh, is that how it's going to go? Okay, I thought it was
So
co-op.
so it's head-to-head.
Yeah, it's head-to-head. It's not co-op.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it's-
okay. There's a lot about this game I don't know. I'm just going to have to play it to see what
It
it's
just
like.
looked good.
I think it was at the last E3 we had in 2019.
I thought it looked like Infamous or something like that.
It was, yeah.
Or that other game. What was that new one that came out?
Dishonored. Or it's from the creators of Dishonored?
Dishonored, I
Yeah.
There was that game. What was that game? It may not even be out yet. It's like a Japanese. You're in Tokyo or something, and
The horror
Tokyo
game?
yeah, it's a
Wire.
horror game.
That's Ghostwire.
Ghostwire. It looked kind of like that too. There's like, and it reminded me of like BioShock, just like where there's
Ghostwire?
like kind of like weird magic involved.
Ghostwire came out. I never heard anything about it, but it looked
did it
really
come
good.
out?
I think it's out. I believe it's out. I think it's out now.
It did not look impressive to me.
I thought it was cool.
I didn't think
Japanese
it looked
horror
impressive.
is.
I thought
is-
it was a cool idea, but
It's very different than Western horror, but that doesn't mean it's not scary or interesting. It's just different. They have a very you can definitely see like the cultural like divide where our horror developed more from like slasher films and stuff, whereas theirs come from like deep seated mythology on just freaky stuff.
yeah, that is true.
They got some scary stuff, like things that would be completely ordinary. It's just like little like they have a lot of horror with like little kids.
Yeah, I think that's where that comes from. Japanese. Anywho, keeping it common, we got probably a lot to talk about, even though not a whole lot happened in the last episode. It was a combat, but the best thing about it is it's a story-driven combat. There was a lot at stake. There was a death.
First death of the campaign.
Thren got out. There's there's a lot to talk about
Yeah.
here, I think. So.
Over 30 episodes without a death is I think that's pretty impressive.
Is it really?
Tyrell has a lot to talk about.
Which he hates because he hates talking.
Didn't campaign 1 Critical Role? Didn't nobody die?
Nobody. No, they died multiple times, but
They were just so
were
high level.
always-
The only significant death, I believe, Seth can double check me on this, but was Vax or
Vax.
The male,
Yeah,
Which
brought him
which
back
he
alive,
died
didn't
like 4 times.
no. So his resurrection was
Conditional.
has conditional, and it was beating the big bad.
But he still died 4 times.
Yeah,
like
and
3 times after the
They-
original death.
I believe
And he just
they
kept
all died. At
waking
least,
up in the woods naked and having to come back.
Yeah, they all died at least once. I think Seth told me about, and the dumbest one is Mauritius.
Marisha definitely died. They might have.
Mauritius' death was the stupid weird gods turned into a goldfish.
Pike might not have died.
Pike isn't there enough to die.
Right. But Taliesin and Scanlan both died when they fought.
I know
the
Scanlan died
green-
because
Yeah, that's
that
when he
was
left.
one of the best role play moments of the game.
I watched that just last week.
Yeah,
like
it
I just was like, I
it's-
want
it's
to watch
amazing.
that again.
It's completely
Yeah.
amazing.
But yeah, I think they all died except for Pike, maybe.
Yeah. and she was like, what, 17 when the game ended?
Yeah.
She was 3 levels down because Matt was actually awarding experience for their first campaign.
I
don't-
want to do the next
I-
campaign on experience.
I don't think he awarded I don't think he does experience anymore.
Would it not take even?
Oh, it'd take a
longer to
lot
level
longer.
up? Yeah.
It's hard because it's like, oh, this creature awards 2,000 experience with all the ads and all the story-driven stuff that happened, divided by 7.
Yeah.
If you just said this creature awards experience, it doesn't matter the party size, then you would level up as fast as we are. Basically, our experience is being we basically are grouping our experience as if we're like 2 players, basically.
Yeah.
I feel bad about how much I level y'all up.
I don't
honestly.
care because I don't have. I gave you a very large list of gear that I would rather have than have levels.
Well, I mean, it's just if you have an end game. I mean, you have already kind of in mind where we need to be for a certain thing. So
The way I feel like if we don't hurry up and finish this campaign, we might not ever. But if we finish this campaign and we're still like, we want to keep playing and we want to keep doing it. If we lose a few people, maybe like they don't like after this story finished, they don't really feel interested in starting another story. It would be okay to slow it down. But yeah, right now it just feels like I'm afraid we've just got to go.
I mean, I
I
don't
was
feel
very
like.
excited for the last episode.
Do you think we're halfway there?
I mean, there's only 20 levels. Y'all are level 10, so
Yeah, but I mean, you could slow. I mean, I think now that we're higher level, you could slow it down.
You're right, but also, I mean, that's not. I think y'all
Story-wise, I don't
leveled
feel
up
like-
faster recently than y'all were from the lower levels. So
Not really. I
It's
don't
hard
know.
to argue that because we also.
fought a lot stronger stuff.
Well, not only that, but there was also bigger gaps between playing. Like there was a time when we started off where we would play once every 2 months. I think me and AJ talked about this on streaming, but I like went through it one time, and there was times where we would play where it was playing once every 2 months. Because y'all very quickly lost your lead because of COVID. So y'all's lead was basically thrown away by the fact that
And then-
everyone was affected.
Pregnancy stuff. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, we had some big gaps in there. We've been way more consistent lately.
Yeah. There's been a lot more consistency in the last year and a half than the entire.
The nursing home helped with that.
Oh
But
God, yeah, the nursing home.
I
Yeah.
say nursing. It was not a nursing.
The
home.
retirement.
Retirement
It
home,
was
yeah.
where we retired to play D&D.
No, that definitely helped because
helped.
we had to put it on a calendar, and I
Yeah.
think we're just going to stick with that thing.
We're
Like,
still kind of doing that,
Yeah.
which we have to. Like, I already know. Like next month, I have
October's busy for me.
I have 3 shows out of 4 weekends in October.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to kind of schedule it pretty far out, or
Yeah.
it's just not going to happen. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
We
We
all
might
know.
have to do a Friday or something. I mean,
I mean, I can do it. It's just that we have to play.
Cameron might not would be able to do a Friday. I don't know.
Not now. I didn't know he got a job, but yeah. So we'll have to have him talk about that sometime if he ever wants to do a
Oh, yeah,
second.
I know I can't play Saturday in October.
Not a single Saturday.
I got, well, I mean, like next Saturday. I don't think I have anything next Saturday, but I have.
Which that's not October yet.
I have a show the 8th.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's the first.
I have a show the 8th. I have a show
I actually could.
the 15th. I have a show the 22nd, and then I have a wedding the 29th.
Wow, an October wedding. That's gonna be cool. Are they theming it?
I don't know.
You should ask.
Halloween themed wedding.
Halloween themed wedding.
Hey, I have nothing against that. I love Halloween. My favorite holiday.
Anywho,
It's the one time in the one time in the year where it's okay to be somebody else. Just a night.
so what's the first order of business as far as the campaign? I don't know really what to talk
I
about.
mean, we started off the game. Y'all were already y'all were seen by Grelka when we 2 episodes ago. So I mean, we just rolled for initiative right away.
Yeah,
I would like.
it was an exciting combat. Lot went on. It was really.
I was really like I apparently rightfully so. I was worried about it. Like I knew it was going to be tough because that thing told me it was a deadly encounter.
well, those ability the loss of turns is huge.
Dadgum invisibility.
It
man.
didn't even hurt
invisibility.
y'all bad though because everything was too far away from y'all to
It
take
hurt-
advantage of.
It hurt me bad because I was just completely. I didn't compete in the combat. I did one
at the
thing.
end.
Urus didn't either hardly. Urus was out for a long
So
time.
yeah, me and him were both out. I think the most he did was waking people back up. Me being one of them because I wouldn't have even.
I also want to know because I don't know anything about Urus class. Like,
I don't either.
is he weak combat wise?
He is because
He dealt damage a few times, but he didn't. It wasn't
See,
a lot of
he
damage.
used to use charisma for a modifier, and that was a +5.
100% Cameron's fault. What happened?
And
Yeah,
then
well, yeah, I
by
know that,
switching, like he wanted to keep his charisma modifier, but it made no sense with the new class that he
Yeah,
had.
the only reason he had
And he
charisma
has a
was because of
12
Jack.
strength. So now he's doing
So
+1.
Well, what about like on
Modifier.
spell casting though? 'Cause he-
Cameron's class has become a
No,
really
it's-
crappy jack of all trades.
okay.
Because
And that might be fine. And honestly, I have something sad to say when we get to it about that. But no, his spell casting should be fine. Because
spell
that's
Does he still use
it's still
charisma?
The
yeah,
problem-
because he's a sorcerer and a warlock.
the problem is he wants to now do smithing, which is strength based, and he wants to run into combat like another spellcaster we know, which is also strength based.
Okay.
2 gishes.
But I mean, yeah, he might just be more of a
You
like
gotta
utility.
spread the love.
Not just because originally he did a lot of damage. I mean, Urus was a big damage guy.
I can't help the type of wizard that I picked. I mean, that's what they do.
You could have helped it. You can't now.
No.
You have a good wizard.
Wizards have so much in their toolkit, they can always step back, reflect, and change their entire class. Like this could be a you can't change the
I kind of
archetype
agree
you
with
want.
that because so many of looking at I hate all of the subclasses for wizards. Like
I do too. I hate all the colleges.
So
except
honestly,
for
the Songblade thing, just having a buff to your AC and then just still standing back and casting spells, I mean, still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. It's just
It doesn't give you spell bonus stuff like you would if you were abjuration or conjuration. Like, is that just all okay?
Spellblade was Wizards of the Coast saying everyone wants to be Darth freaking Maul, so let's give them a Darth Maul class.
I mean, I really like it. You get like the buff to your AC. You get like advantage on acrobatics checks. You get, I think it's +10.
Do you have Revenant Blade too for the dual blade?
Nah. Actually, you have to have one hand free for spellcasting with that class.
Not if you take. Well, it's a feat intensive thing, but you can also grab. There's another class that allows you to use your weapon as a focus.
As a spellcasting focus. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think
Oh yeah,
I
that
think
seems like
it's-
that
I think
should
it's
that should
Warcaster.
be. It seems like that should be a bonus of that class.
Well, technically, I got to get a shield then if I had that feat. Yeah.
Oh, that actually just grab that feat. Yeah, that actually make a bigger difference.
I
big
love
consideration
Thran.
for you for level 12.
I think Thran is a really cool class.
I like Thran's character a lot.
He doesn't need to. He needs to be smarter about how he you can run up in there.
If you'd have
but
taken
just-
Maul-
But that wasn't even your problem, was it? Like you weren't going down a lot.
No.
You
No,
just,
it wasn't
like,
that. It's just
I think you got frustrated because you forgot how many spell slots you had a couple times.
Well,
or
I remember that
something like
when we were in the swamp and we fought the bird.
But I think
Birds.
part of that was
And-
that it was combat and then stuff happening, and then you just didn't know
Yeah.
because of a 3-month time period or a
yeah.
6-month time
Well, we
period.
need to get you a spell tracker.
I cast fly, remember, and I was trying to cast it on, or casting enough for Buck to go fly
Hey,
with it
listen,
as well, and then I was
You making that one mistake on a spell that didn't really change anything has nothing on Anthony using Great Weapon Master
Oh my God.
this entire campaign
Did you
without
see?
ever having a great weapon.
Yeah, not even a club or a great club, whatever it's called.
He had a
is-
great club originally.
It's not a heavy weapon, actually.
A great club's not.
I looked it up. Did y'all see the spreadsheet that I created for everybody? The little PDF, the Google
Oh, yeah,
slide?
yeah.
I went ahead and stuck in there for Anthony, heavy weapon. And then I put in parentheses, everything classified as a heavy weapon.
I mean, that's not technically cheating.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It's
big time.
because it's a great weapon.
He doesn't have a shield
All
or
those
anything.
+10s that he had, he should never have gotten.
The theory behind Great Weapon Master is you have a weapon that's so heavy, you bring it down with extra force. That's where the loss to hit is, because you're not being accurate. You're hitting hard.
Yeah, well, he's still taking the loss to hit.
That's true.
It's just with a weapon that does less damage.
I guess.
I
I don't know. It's just funny that we've gotten it wrong this entire game.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
just a-
once been.
I
right.
didn't. Yeah, I don't manage other people's equipment.
Yeah, I don't
so-
either. I never really paid attention to
It's
what you
just
used.
so funny because this all started because I was listening to the last game, and he says his damage is a D8. I'm like, wait a minute, why?
It should be a D12.
Because I was trying, like, I need to give. He's like, I don't have a magic weapon. At the end of the combat, he's like, I don't have a magic weapon, so all this it shouldn't even been doing full damage, and But then he's like, I'm doing a D8, and I was like, I need to give him a new weapon. Wait, great weapon. What is he talking about? I texted AJ. I was like, do you know what he's using? And you didn't know. And then I texted Tay. He's like, what are you using?
I didn't know you had to have a great weapon.
You have to have a heavy weapon. Actually, Gillard can take it. I was planning on it, but when he took it, I was like, I don't need it, and I don't really like the loss of accuracy. So
I don't see why you can't use any weapon you want with that.
because it's powerful. It's supposed to limit the selection pool, just like imagine if you could
It
just
should
get,
limit you to a two-handed weapon, but that's what he has, isn't
But
it?
imagine if you could just
It's a
get
versatile
like
weapon.
a hand crossbow and take spell sniper and just blast someone for 30 damage with a hand crossbow that can now go 60 feet unimpeded and
Yeah.
then just boom blast someone. It gives because weapons aren't like spells. They're not really investment. They're just character asking
Right.
the DM and doing it. So any character can have any of them, whereas with spells, there's a level specific investment where you have to wait till a certain point where you can grab it. You have to take a class capable of getting it or a feat capable of getting it. There's investment on the player ahead of time, whereas weapons, it's just like, if I take Great Weapon Master this feat, I can ask my DM for a sword, and then I'm going to blast someone's head off with it just because whatever reason. Now, I will say, that's what I was going to say. I was
But it doesn't do harm. I mean, like the only thing you're forfeiting if you're going to use Great Weapon Master, and you have to use a heavy weapon. That means it has to be two-handed, right?
No, it has to have the heavy feat, but I think all the heavy weapons have
Well,
two-handed.
I mean,
What does
Rudy
that?
did it- huh?
What does that do bad for having a
It's
heavy
just
weapon?
the rule.
It means you
It's
can't.
just- I mean-
It's supposed
But
to.
it's not cheating though, because it was no advantage.
Right. There's not
It was
really
actually a
the-
disadvantage
Does
because
he
he
actually have a
wasn't doing.
shield?
No, he doesn't even use a shield. No,
If he had a shield, then he would have a higher AC with the additional weapon that will obviously.
If he was using, like, why was he not even using it two-handed though?
he was.
Was he?
No,
Was he
that's a
rolling a
D10.
D10 or a D8?
That's a D10. And if Seth is saying he heard him say D8, that's
I
one-handed.
could swear I think he's rolling d10s. I've
But
watched him roll a lot of
The
d10s.
point is, a great axe, which is the only heavy weapon axe, is a D12.
Like, that's not it's not too big a deal. Like, Ryan is actually giving me a heavy one-handed weapon. He gave Cameron one, like, he gave him a heavy rapier. Like, it took a
Stygian
minus to
rapier.
hit, like, by -2, but it did a little bit more damage, like a D4 extra damage. So, I mean, it's cool. You can give any item.
That's true. I mean, you can
you can make
technically-
anything. You can homebrew anything.
Technically, yeah, it's just the heavy flavoring. So if he had a heavy battle axe,
Right. And you know what? We can just say that his battle axe was heavy. Who cares, you know?
yeah, he has an obsidian battle axe.
Which,
It's a battle axe or it's a war axe? What?
Same
A war
thing.
axe is small.
Great axe is the one you're
Great
thinking.
axe.
of.
Great
That's
axe is
what
the
you
D12.
Great
draw.
axe is big, yeah, but I'm thinking like
battle
something
axe,
along-
war axe, the
You're
same
thinking
thing.
Hand axe is the because
Hand axe would be small.
It's
Okay.
also throwing too.
Okay. Yeah.
What is that? Finesse? Is that what it is that you throw?
Throws strength or
It's just
finesse.
throw. Yeah.
throw.
Throw is both. You get throw is
Javelin's the same way.
Yeah, you can do.
You can use strength or dex.
It's to give strength characters ranged weapons.
Finesse is for like rogues, right? That's like for sneak
It's
attack and
just dexterity based. It's
Yeah,
not really
dexterity,
any
yeah.
class.
yeah.
Now, so the very first round, though, something interesting happened because I put Thren at the bottom of the list, you know, on the initiative chart.
Yeah, take us through this set.
Okay, like I said, this whole thing, I said this last time on Say It in Common, was so that we could say the word vampire right here on Say It in Common. Because I was like, we're just gonna catch up with Thren, and just everyone's gonna really finally know, you know, not in character, but everyone will know just how deep in the mud Thren really is. Like, he's being controlled, he can't help himself, like nothing. I mean, you can't use that in game, but you'll
I can't
know.
wait to
Like,
interact.
we're all-
with him.
You made,
I
but,
can't wait to interact with him.
but what happened is you made the mistake of letting him wake up,
Yep.
and you killed Corvus too early. Because if Corvus had still been alive, he would not have been sitting over there flipping through his book trying to figure out what he could do. Now, if I find a pillow and an open window,
That's exactly what I did. Actually, I was flipping through there. I was like,
We're getting ahead of
how am
ourselves.
I, how am I going to get out of there?
I was so excited about it.
go ahead, Seth.
Cool. But yeah, so the whole thing was just like, yeah, we're gonna talk about vampires now. We can finally. It's not gonna be a quote unquote secret. I mean, worst kept secret ever.
I was gonna say I like Thren waking up because theoretically elves are very hard to charm.
See, what I thought would happen. What
They
I
have
thought might would
advantages.
happen was he might like use sending or something. And be like, hey guys,
Could you use sending?
I don't know. See, I
That's what I'm
forget
saying.
that-
I don't know if it has a component.
Yeah. So I was just
I think
like,
it does.
he might be able to just get a message to y'all, like, y'all, I'm in trouble. Like, I can't,
Yeah.
I don't know where y'all at and stuff like that. That was my big dreams of it, you know, that he might be able to send a message to y'all and be like, hey, I'm not okay. What's going on?
It requires a short piece of fine copper wire.
And, you know, you can just pull that out of a pillow.
Yeah.
You might pull it
Pull
out of a
that right out
sofa.
of, pull that right out of her
He's just gonna
bra.
punch.
Pull that out of a
Just
sofa.
gonna punch through the drywall and rip a piece of wire.
So then, y'all all thought he was about to come fight. Like,
Oh, I
or
didn't.
y'all acted like it.
I
So
didn't
people
think he
acted
was
like it on the podcast,
Yeah.
like looking for him, like
But
acting
there's
like
no
the table
way.
was right on the dais up above. y'all.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking at first. Is like, oh God, Bathory's here. We're screwed.
No, they weren't in there. I never thought that. I knew
It
he
was
somewhere
it was
else.
just a kind of catch up with Thren and talk about vampires and like
I think
and that kind of
once
stuff.
you had he's in the castle, and I was like, well, we're definitely not in the castle.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
And then let's see. The Alps went invisible, and immediately
I wanted to ask you, their hypnotic pattern and whatever else they were doing, those saving throws, did they burn all that early? So okay, because
could
you
only
did it
cast-
one time a little bit later, and then that
well,
was
that was
it.
because there was 3 and one of them was further back, so
and
it
they
took it a
only
couple
had
of rounds
like
to get
one,
up there.
one slot for it. Okay,
We always grouped ourselves very.
They had 2 spells they could cast: greater invisibility and hypnotic pattern. There might have been another and gaseous form or whatever.
Right.
yeah, they turned to a mist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So those were the only spells they could cast. So I mean, they go greater invisibility because why would you not if you can do it? And then trying to stop y'all and get some pot shots on with hypnotic pattern. And I mean, big area can get a couple of y'all all at the same time. So I mean, that was what they were planning. They were just too far away to really take advantage of y'all all being stunned.
But it kept.
But they all failed their wisdom save because Rask just immediately ran 90 feet
Yeah.
and gets attacked by Grelka and just gets bloody. And as soon as they can smell blood, they
is that conditional on half health? Like,
no.
it's just
No,
if you get attacked.
If anything that's not full health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in their text.
In their text, yeah.
Wow.
They smell blood if on
And it just
creatures
happened to be Rask was the only one hurt for a while.
for a while. Yeah. And then he ran away from him. He was able to get away from him, but Corvus was hurt right next to him, so they just go to the next. I mean, kind of like sharks, frenzy feeding.
Yeah,
is the way.
So explain to anybody that didn't know the mechanics of the character why it was so crucial when Buck got Rask up, and then how Corvus died.
Okay,
so
yeah, I
quickly.
thought so. Y'all hear me freak out on the game. I'm looking at the list of people. I'm like, oh, they're running out of people, and I'm like, 2 of them's already down. Grelka's definitely going to keep attacking Rask because I mean he was horrible to her.
Yeah.
Like that's just vengeance. But these are just wild animals hungry for blood and getting the blood that they want. So like I thought in the next round, because I mean they all have multi attacks, and
which is an auto crit.
which is not a crit.
'Cause
So
he's down.
if one attack would be fine, that's 2 failed losses. But then 2, that's 4, and that's over 3. So you're dead with 2 attacks. So, yeah, I thought we're about to kill Rask, we're about to kill Corvus. Within just there was like 2 people in between them or something at the top of the round. So I thought it was going to be quick. But then Buck got over to Corvus and
or to Rask.
no, him first. He went down first
Oh,
and got
okay,
healed
okay.
with a potion.
Yeah.
I healed Corvus once too.
He got healed twice.
Oh, so we brought Corvus back twice.
Yeah.
Rask got brought back once and was able to stay up.
Yep. I mean, what could we have done? As a DM, I kind of killed Corvus a while back ago, I guess, when Cameron did all of his changes, because he was taking spells that Tate was looking forward to taking, like Revivify. But Tate can't get Revivify because he took 5 levels of Fighter. And I told him, no, you don't need to be stepping on his toes that much. I told Cameron not to take some of these spells, and those spells could. I mean, Healing Word. I banned it I banned it a long time ago, but I banned it again that night. Tate had it. It could have worked. It could have saved him.
Yeah.
So I killed Corvus a long time ago with the 1 ban of a spell that I've had, and then telling telling Cameron not to step on
I
Tate's toes. too much.
completely agree with you. I don't like Cameron's direction at all,
Oh,
well, or lack thereof. But yeah, I don't disagree with anything you've done at all.
So I'm sorry for that, because if he had Revivify, you'd be alive right now, Corvus. And if I hadn't banned, I mean, we'd have.
I could have Healing Word.
You could have Healing Word, and so could Ryan.
Ryan.
Or Cure Wounds. He might not be able to have. Healing
could
Word.
definitely have Cure
He could have
Wounds.
Cure Wounds for sure.
No, we could all take a feat and grab. Oh, wait, Healing Word is second level or first level?
It's first level.
Yeah, we could all grab Healing Word. If that's the case.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that my decisions make sense story wise. I feel bad that it affected Corvus dying because it definitely did.
I mean, but that would have been true if Rask had died. That would have been true if any of us had. If Rask hadn't have got, if she'd have missed Rask, they would have probably moved towards the back of the group where there's more people and let her deal with it.
They were.
They
headed
could
to
have
the
killed
group.
any of us.
They were headed to the main group, and then they smelled the blood, so they had to run backwards. Yeah.
No, you played it right, and like Corvus just couldn't get. What could you have done different besides just like retreating and running
I think
away?
if I recall correctly, like during the time that I got up those 2 times, I think I didn't have another round come up before they attacked me again. If I'm recalling correctly,
You had one round.
One round,
I think.
If I would have thought at the time, I would have just used
Actually, you might not have because I rolled a death saving throw for you one time.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
pretty
might
sure-
that might have.
I think he got up.
Hush, Bell. Come in.
Oh, he probably needs help.
Oh, the soup.
Bella, shut up.
We forgot. Locked it?
No, he just didn't have. He didn't have a hand. Oh, well, it had to have been you then.
Yeah, I just walked in. I didn't lock anything. I didn't touch anything.
That's weird.
How dare you?
You need to like. It doesn't matter. Doesn't you need to put that back on the stove or anything? Huh? You need to put that back on the stove or anything? Well, that's what happens when you transport a liquid.
Come sit down. We're in saying
Is he here or there?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, they're both live though. They're both
Everything's
live.
recording, so.
Tate has entered the building. So what were we saying?
Tate's entered the building
We were
with
talking
chili.
about to.
Yeah, you might not have had a turn because I did roll a death
Corvus
saving.
I feel like we got him up, and then before his turn, he went back down.
That's what I'm thinking. But I was going to say, if I would have had a turn to do something, I would have used my bonus action to teleport again away further, very
And
far
you could just throw your knife and teleport to your knife.
away.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my 9th level ability that I got. One of them.
Yeah.
I know you used it once though in the fight. It was before they got on you though doing that.
It was cool.
So how fast did Corvus go down? Like, did you have?
It was very fast.
Yeah.
It was
Rogues
not-
don't have a ton of hit points.
Now,
I mean,
you were attacked not by Grelka, but by the other flying.
It was
thing.
Alps.
I thought the other flying thing attacked you too.
might have got
It
him
did
once.
once, but like the Alps are what really tore me to pieces because
You had. Did you have all 3 of them or 2 of them?
2 of them, one on each side. I couldn't see either one of them. So
We had already killed the third one, maybe. I don't remember.
No, I think all 3 of them were on him.
And we couldn't knock them out of their invisibility, could we? There was nothing we could even do to do
I
that.
mean, y'all weren't even
No, we
trying
did.
to
We
hit
did.
them for y'all eventually did.
Because they were just making their saves.
They were making their
on
saves.
concentration.
But y'all weren't even trying to hit them because y'all couldn't see them for a while. Like,
it was
took y'all-
either
Just trying to
hit
stay
the-
away from where they are.
Yeah, it was
Get a
either
chair
hit-
and come over here, Anthony. It'd be the easiest.
Yeah, it is either hit the threat we could see or potentially miss the threat we can't.
Yeah. It was just a wrong place, wrong time, wrong timing kind of deal.
Yeah. And spread out. By about that point, there were 3 different kind of fights going on.
And we had also realized that we didn't need to be in a group because every time we got in a group, they cast that. That
but at
hypnotic
that point,
thing.
it was over.
Because
You just
at,
don't know
at
that.
one point, Vistrid said, "I'm going to run over there to Buck and Quincy." I said, "No, don't come over here." And he was like, and I said, "They're going to do that thing." And he was like, "It's okay. I have a plus whatever to wisdom." I said, "Well, I don't." And they're targeting a group. Like, they're not going to even cast it unless we're in a group. So I think we had realized that, and that was kind of, I mean, may have been a little meta, but we spread out.
No, that's
because of
basic.
that.
That's fighting tactics.
mean-
That's not meta.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, it
That's
happened 3
it would be
times.
meta if we said these are Alps and they have hypnotic patterns, so don't group up.
Yeah,
That's meta.
yeah.
But see, even if y'all fight them again, like I would say that y'all know their fighting
Right, but
tactics. and y'all
it's
can-
changed now that the characters are aware. It's when the players use knowledge the characters don't have access to.
So there was another one of just like the nannies that turned into a Vargeist.
Yeah, but Grelka was an ancient Vargas, so she was the only one who was regaining 20 hit points at the beginning of her turn. The other one wasn't doing that. I think that was all. No, she also had the frightening presence at the beginning of the combat. The other one didn't have that.
I've actually, it was after that fight. Was that? Yeah, it was after that fight. My sister was here, and I played D&D with her and my mom and my cousin. And I continued from where we left off on our Tales from
Did you
Palexia
record it?
that we did. No, I didn't record it.
Why?
Because I didn't, any further from there, I think it's going to mess with our game. I don't want people to think that it's lore. I was just, and that was what I told them. I said, from here, I said, we're going to continue playing in this world, but I said, I don't want to try to adhere to Seth's world, so we're not going to record anything. So anyway, so what had happened when they left off is they went to the coffin. There was a vampire in there. Well, I knew they were going to have to fight him because they woke him up. So I was looking up some vampire stuff, and I saw a bunch of the stuff that you were using with them. That's just a basic vampire thing. So we actually continue with that. And I had to see some vampire stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't know this before. And which probably, like, I know Tyrell probably did.
I mean, all that I think was
all that
over.
vampire stuff regains health at the start of its turn. I mean, that's super hard to kill. Because I nerfed him way down. I picked like just a basic vampire is a very high CR. Just a vampire. So I went with like Vampire Thrall or something, which is a lower level. They only gain like 10 health. And they can
See, the Alps didn't. They on the bites they were, and even the normal Vargas, which Grelka could like her bites were also healing her.
Yeah,
Like,
the
so-
necrotic they get back, or all of it they
The
get
necrotic
back.
they get
Just
back.
the necrotic. Okay, yeah, it's the same.
Necrotic also
same thing.
lowered our max health. So
It was that fight was interesting because there was so many different dynamics that like you could have died just from your the necrotic.
Yeah, you kind of have to just sit there doing math, going, okay, how quickly am I going to die here? If I take another hit, like how? I mean, what's going to be the
your
consequences?
max hit
of
points
that?
is suddenly 11. Like at max, you're healed.
Yeah.
At 11.
right, and that was part of the trick. It's like if Tyrell was like, well, if Corvus hadn't have engaged, then Rask would have died. Because there was no, it's like someone was
had to die.
gonna die just the way combat started.
And Buck could only make it to Rask.
I can't believe he made it to Rask.
How long were you sitting there calculating that?
I mean, from the moment that I saw Rast was down, I was like, okay.
And he
all
was
right.
down up on the dais. Like,
know.
it was like,
Yeah,
he
I was
just
like-
he did not learn his lesson.
I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do this. And from that point on, it was just like,
Was he good, AJ?
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't know what channel it was on.
From that point on, I was just like, okay, this is how it's, this is how I have to do it. I can't use an action surge. I cannot focus on anyone else right now except the first dead body
Because
that
you
went
didn't
down.
have action surge, or you just wanted to.
I just only had one.
right. So you didn't want to use it then.
Right. I didn't want to use it at any other point, and there was a part of me that was like, okay, this is all going to work out, and then like I was like, wait a minute, and when Seth said, it's going to take these swaps at him, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to him, and I don't want to show any kind of panic. You know what I mean?
No, you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. If you hadn't been acting the way you were acting, I don't think we would have even known that was about to happen.
Well, I guess I need to stop acting.
I'm just not a good. I don't know enough about the game to think that far ahead. Like I'm thinking about my character. I'm thinking about where people are positioned. I'm like, okay, what's he probably going to do? And I'm talking to Ryan about, can you do this or whatever.
Well, see, I'm having
And-
to think like, would they do this? Like, because some things would not just brutally murder someone
Yeah.
when they're down. But I mean, these things were in a
Those
blood
would,
frenzy,
yeah.
and they absolutely would. So I'm like, okay, you have to play them accordingly.
I realized that. Yeah, when you said that one was going for somebody and Rask got hurt and it went to him. I went, they're going for people who are hurt. So I did know that. So I knew when Rask went down, that's bad, but I didn't know if they were going to keep attacking. And you don't have time to figure it out if they're going to keep attacking somebody that's down, because one turn is all it takes to kill them. So, wow. Yeah, that. I see why it was rough.
Yep.
Because they weren't, especially the fact that.
But see, I thought it was going to be the Vargas that
No,
were going to be rough.
they
'cause
weren't
they
a
were going to
problem
stay
at
up
all.
high. They're going to do their flyby thing.
We have enough range and enough magic that we can affect flying things in a contained
the Alps were
area.
honestly just kind of filler. Like, I can't just have these two, and like I think three would be just too many.
Stuff that
and
you
kinda
can't see
boring.
is just
Yeah.
that is humongous.
I don't think anybody would have died if we'd have fought three of the big things.
Probably not.
I don't think so either. 'Cause
Now,
essentially-
unless you turned around and gave Grelka legendary actions, then we probably would have been dealing with a different kind of fight.
I think it was Malachi that I told, because he was talking about, that was really brutal, and I was like, yeah, it was. But I said,
So many of y'all didn't take any damage.
I said, I think Quincy, Gillard, and Vistrid could have done it by themselves.
I don't. You told me that too. I don't.
I could have resisted a lot of the damage.
If AJ had been the one running in, probably. If he'd have ran in and rage and they all jumped on him, and it's like all three of them are around him, Vistrid has area attacks, and then
Not to mention-
we probably couldn't handle two of the big
Not to
Vargas.
mention, Vistrid has a large
He's saying that
health
could have
pool.
handled the
That's what I'm
Vargas
saying.
and all three Alps.
I don't think we could have taken both Vargas and all three Alps. I think we could have taken
The Alps-
3 Alps and 1 Vargas. I think we could have taken
The Alps, I think, would be I think we could take 2 Vargas, no problem. I think.
Oh,
the
I
Alps
do,
would
but
be
I'm saying the 5. I think is
Yeah, that probably is true, yeah.
I think we could either do.
because they've just got too many turns on us.
Yeah, we lose the same thing Seth loses at when all of us are playing.
Right, yeah.
Action economy.
True. But yeah, I mean, just the.
But yeah,
And it just so happened that we didn't get attacked. I mean, it just so happened that Ras got hurt early, and
Vistrid followed
so
up.
and then Corvus got hit. So
a few more
immediately the
Alps like coming from behind y'all would have changed a lot. Like
Yeah,
instead of that the second Vargas, 2 more Alps would have made that combat so different, because that means my attention would have turned around, meaning that she never would have been restrained.
that's also 2 more hypnotic patterns.
True. Yeah.
So, like, have we talked to Tyrell about how he feels about it?
quite got.
Not completely. We're kind of getting
Working our
there.
way towards.
I want to go through. I do want to go through Tyrell's mind about. Okay, Corvus is dead. Now all you've got is Thrin. I want to know, like, while we're in this intense combat and you're trying to, now you've got to try to get Thrin out of this castle while you've got a chance. So what was going through your head on that?
As soon as I like said, "Okay, Thrin, you wake up at a table," what was your thoughts then? Like, was you like, "I need to escape," or
Did he
what
know
did you
about it
think?
ahead of time? No.
Right? No.
No, it was kind of.
I think I told you to make sure you brought Thrin.
Yeah, you did ask me if I brought through, and I thought something was up, but
Was it immediately, I'm going to try to get him out of there?
no, not yet. I didn't think of that until he said that like he was out of the trance or whatever, and I was like,
We got an opportunity here.
maybe I can get him out. You know, I was gonna see if I could. So,
So you would have literally had 2-player characters.
Would Thrin have just packed his bags and gone home? I'm gonna go study with Solaris because I'm not good enough.
I don't think so. I think he'd probably been trying to find you guys. I mean, that would be the most logical.
Well, I
thing that
guess
we've done.
my question: Corvus survived. You end up with 2 characters. Seth's like, you got to pick one. The other is going to go there, like kind of separate from the party. What would Tyrell's decision have been with 2 characters on the line?
It's funny because Ryan asked this last game or last 8 in common right before Corvus died.
Oh,
He asked this, and Tyrell he told Tyrell not to answer it, but he asked it anyway.
Well, I guess my answer to
I'm gonna
that
ask
would be
because he lost one.
Right? Yeah, I'm interested.
if Corvus would have survived and Thrin would have survived. I figure Corvus would probably, if you guys had, I guess in the end, if you do actually we end up killing Bathory or whatever, he probably would have stayed behind, and Thrin would have probably went on with you guys. That's
So
probably
you would have kind of in and out to both of them. Maybe
Okay.
maybe Thrin's with us for a little while Corvus is with the circle,
I wouldn't
and then
mind
Thrin
that.
stays behind while Corvus is there. That way, you have you can still be there, but we can rotate.
I
out
wouldn't have
characters.
minded letting Corvus' story be told
Right.
in Galeport.
Biggest
and then when we leave.
regret is that we didn't get any of the backstory of Corvus. Like you didn't
even-
get to meet the circle through Corvus.
I didn't
Like,
realize that there was that much backstory there.
he fits in with your game, the one that your sister and cousin and mom played in the first Tales of Palexia.
Really?
Right? We said Deb is your mother. Yeah.
How?
Well, see, this is where your game now couldn't really get onto it.
Yeah.
So
See,
they would have been defeated
This-
by. I assume that man was Lord Bathory, right? Their father,
he's the Bathory's dad.
and then he would have like put Deb's character under a trance, and he's a Dampier, so that means that he's half vampire. So she would have conceived Corvus.
Wow.
So we got a Legend of Zelda thing where one side is his people losing a campaign and one side is his people winning a campaign. You are now in the hero timeline, and we are now in the fallen timeline.
Well, actually, when they fought him, he got away. So he called, on one of his turns, he conjured like a storm of bats.
Mm-hmm.
And then on like 3 turns later, he was able to stay alive. And when the bats got there, he turned into a bat and just left with the bats. And they didn't know who was who.
That's smart.
So he's still out there. I left that kind of open-ended, and he'll probably be, he can be like a big bad of
Include
this
that in
area
your
or
story.
whatever. But yeah, that's interesting.
I think that we kind of kill him off in the backstory. Like, after he was born, I think the Bathory sisters did do away with his mother, and that's why he was so gung ho on I have to kill the Bathory.
Yeah, he wanted revenge.
Just like Star Lord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when they played that game before, my mom was Narissa, wasn't she? That because she's playing it now as
Thorn.
Thorn. Yeah,
Yeah, she was a female character on that one because your cousin wasn't. She was a male.
I didn't let my mom play Thorn because she was Thorn in the
Yeah.
Tiger Skull game.
So your cousin was a guy, and then your sister was a half orc, and your mom was the only. I think she was human.
And Narissa was just a female version of Thorn. It's the same character, basically.
So that's.
I didn't
where-
realize that when
that's
we
where it
played
came
it this next time. She's Thorn now.
See, I think
That's funny.
did I ask you to write up something, or have your mom write up some stuff?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't think she ever did she?
I thought she did because I gave it to him.
She did. My mom wrote something up for you.
Or maybe I just got some information and I wrote some stuff up for him. I don't remember.
He's got it. Tyrell's got it.
Yeah, he has it.
I've forgotten all kinds of stuff. I did not realize that.
That's cool.
I wrote this. I asked questions and got this. Grew up in the So Narissa Hawthorne, 25-year-old human ranger, pet wolf. His name was Noah. She had a wolf, not the hawk. Okay. Grew up in the wilds of the Bernheim Forest amongst the Azaleas, a tribe of hunter-gatherers that specialize in tracking and hunting in large groups. Found a lost wolf pup on a hunt and kept it as a pet, trained for tracking protection. A plague entered the tribe and killed many, including all of the Hawthorne family. The rest of the tribe was dispersed, and Narissa set off on her own.
Yep, that was his mother.
You hear that, Deb? Corvus is your kid. She doesn't even like Corvus that much. That's funny.
Well, that's what happens when your mother doesn't raise you.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Very good.
You
I like
should
that.
tell your mom to listen to the Say It in Common, but don't tell her what we're talking about. Just
Oh,
listen.
she'll listen. She'll listen to it. So
what I'm
I
saying.
won't say anything. Yeah, I'll let her figure it out.
Surprise!
But yeah, when you did that, I was like, okay. And he wanted to come up with this Dampier character. I was like, well, we have to tie it in somehow. It has to make sense somehow. So yeah, we tied it into your Tales of Palexia.
I
game.
like that. I'm glad y'all do that. That's cool.
All the Tales of let's see, you ran a game, and that one ties in very well. We just haven't really kind of got to it yet.
Mine was
This is in the Dying Lands.
yeah.
Oh, wait,
before
what?
the dying lands were dying.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, we shouldn't have aired all that out there because are we going to figure out his backstory?
No, he's
There's
dead.
no reason that we would.
No.
We can't like.
Would you say the circle even know much?
He's the
I
only,
wouldn't say
only
that he
one that
would-
knows.
You're
his
just
backstory.
using the circle as a means to an end. Yeah. Yeah. He's the only one who could have told you all that stuff.
At best, wouldn't do any of the Bathories know about him? At best-
You were technically in a prison.
Yeah, no.
At
and you
best, they
escaped.
could ask, "Where's Corvus?" and then maybe tie him in through campaign.
But the Bathories are not scared of Corvus.
That's what I'm saying. I bet they'd be like, "Where's little Corvus?" or something. Like it'd be.
But
super
that's the only
convenient.
reason he's wanted is because did they capture him?
Well, he did murder, basically murder, more or less, like a guard or whatever, escaping. So
Okay.
getting out.
Man, I thought you were gonna be like one of the big ones. Like he did kill one of their like important peoples, but you were just a guard.
Yeah.
Killed the lieutenant.
He was only what, level 7 when he joined.
No, I know. It's just I was expecting like a name drop. He's like he did murder, the previous king. It's like a guard.
So then, while you're sitting over there with Thren, going to get him out of there, you don't have your spell book. So there's a limited amount of things you can cast, and you have to have components.
Yeah.
Did you have your old spells written down
No
still?
components.
See that?
Yeah.
I actually called him. I spent one day on the cutting hay, and I called like 4 of y'all talking about like what this game coming up and stuff. Yeah. And I actually asked him. I was like, "How did you cast those spells? Like without a spell book, you technically couldn't have." And he said that he had all the spells from the previous day when he got captured. So I was like, "Okay."
You memorize the spells. That's
For
what
the
I'm
day.
saying. Yeah, for the day.
Yeah.
So I was just counting just the spells that he had
That day that he
without any of the components needed.
Yeah.
I cast those particular spells.
Yeah. And I was that's cool, and I like that.
When I played duo,
MacGyvered it.
I was super paranoid about what if Rudy captures us and I can't cast spells. I was like, Rudy, can my focus be on my hand as a tattoo? He's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, ha, fireball. It's like you're in prison and you don't have access to a spell focus or any of your materials. You can't do anything.
I don't think enough DMs like
Care.
care about what you're casting through, but it should matter.
Yeah.
Like it really should.
That's my question.
Because of imprisonment, yeah.
Does the focus take?
It takes place at the components.
That's
You don't
what
have
I
to
thought.
have
That's what I was asking.
The
Okay.
focus, I really appreciate it. It's Wizards of the Coast's way of saying, look, your character doesn't have to go out there and scavenge crap on the streets.
Literal
You
guano.
can just have a wand, or I mean, there's a lot of objects. I actually particularly like tattoos. I like Duo actually had a brand. It wasn't even a tattoo. He was branded by his where he got his magic from. But it was sick.
I like components. Like in the game we're playing with
Components?
Tyrell right now, I'm components.
Yeah.
I don't like components for me, but I like when people incorporate it.
Liam
Yeah.
in campaign 2 did a great job.
Tyrell's
playing with
freaking feather was genius.
Yeah. Now here's a question surrounding like Buck. Okay, and this is a completely like what if scenario. Like, have we talked about how our characters leveled up? Is that too meta to talk about on the podcast on this?
I don't reckon.
Okay, so like we
This
leveled
is
up.
where we do better.
Yeah,
One-
this is the meta.
I mean, if it's something you don't want us to know.
No. I mean, you'll know it. I mean, it was kind of hinted at by Tira in the last one. I'm level 5 now. I have access to Revivify.
Now you do.
Yeah. Now I do.
Oh, that's what you were saying when we were playing, but
Yeah.
it would be too late because Revivify, I think, has to be.
Oh, it has to be
It's-
immediate.
yeah,
a minute.
it is immediate.
Okay.
It is within a
we
minute.
We technically leveled up that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I do level ups. Is you level
Long
up the night
rest.
after.
Yeah.
Long rest.
So, is my focus for my spell casting the thing that?
Kinda, I would say. I mean, that's up for you.
When it comes to,
But I gave it to you.
When it comes to Revivify, does that still require the diamonds worth 300? Okay, that's
If the component is going to be lost, if it has a number next to it, it means it destroys it.
okay.
Well, there's two versions. There is, if it says consumed,
Consume, yeah.
it means you have to have that.
Understand.
There are some DMs and there's some tables where they'll let you sacrifice the gold from your pouch as if it replaces the component. I personally, for storytelling reasons, that there's a reason it's there because that spell is better than other spells of that level.
And it's not hard to go and get it.
Yeah,
Like, if
and
you
it-
have the gold
Right.
components, you can easily buy that
Exactly.
item.
And it's not as it like the components for Revivify are a sack of diamonds worth 300. So it doesn't have to be one giant.
It's just diamonds,
lodestone diamond. You know, it's just a so.
But there are also spells that have components with a gold cost that you just have to have. Chromatic Orb is the only one I know of off the top of my head. Basically, you have to have whatever
That
the orb
diamond,
is.
yeah.
I think it might actually be a diamond just like this. It's basically what you cast your magic through to give it the chromatic orb.
Yeah, and it changes colors, and that's how you decide what.
I
kind
was
of
actually
damage
just
it
going
does.
to go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say that's how all those summon spells from Tasha's work too. Like
Now,
they
does
all-
those consume?
No, they don't
the
consume. But you
crystal
have to
or whatever?
have like a, I think it's like a a ruby vial with silver lining around the outside of it, worth 500 gold pieces, or on and on and on, different things like that.
My sister told him she was here. She's playing in a game in New York with some of her friends they were in college with her, and
It's cool that we've got this. That we're just branching out.
yeah. Well, they already played. She got some friends she went to college with that she was in theater with, and they already
Theater
played.
kids love D&D.
No, I figure it's a super good game because like they're into it. We went and did an escape room and they were like in character. So it was like a whodunit. It wasn't super in character, but it was just funny because they were like acting. But anyway, I figure it's a
sounds
really
really
good game. But anyway, the dude that's DMing it is like knows a lot about D&D, and she was telling me she cast some spell. I think it was Chromatic Orb, and she said I cast it and it used my gem, and I couldn't cast that spell again during that battle. I was like, no. I was like, that's like a level 1 spell. I said, it doesn't consume that. And she said, well, he told me that I had to buy another gem before I could do that again. I said, no, unless it says consumes or like there's a cost. I said, no, definitely not. I said, not a level 1 damage spell. No way. It's like I think it's like a ruby.
You're wrong, New York guy.
Yeah. Well, he's from Arkansas, so.
You're wrong, Arkansas guy that moved to New York guy.
Like, what does he know about this game? I don't even know anything about this game, and I know that.
Yeah. There's not a lot of spells that are like that. It's just basically your magic.
Hero's Feast is like a gold goblet that's 1,000 gold, 1,000 gold worth or something.
But then it doesn't consume it.
It does
Oh, it
consume
does? It consumes the
Oh,
goblet?
most of them consume. There are just certain ones where it's like, it's what I was going to say. Your magic basically interacts with this object to create an effect that normally doesn't exist.
But if you have a focus, You just don't have to do the dumb component. Like, you don't have to have components to cast a fireball.
You still do for those. That's what I'm saying. For those exclusive spells where it consumes it or needs it,
Yeah.
technically you're supposed to still have those.
Ryan
Even
was
with
getting that diamond dust for the is it diamond skin?
Stone skin.
Stone skin.
I think.
And he was thinking that consumed, and I can't see that consuming. Like,
Yeah, because you're taking on the properties of it. I don't know if it does or not.
but that's a pretty low level spell.
I just know Chromatic Orb. That's my go-to because Liam casted it, and I remember thinking, I remember him saying he had to have it, and it wasn't consumed. So
Maybe can a arcane trickster have a chromatic orb?
Diamond dust worth 100 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
Which, I mean, if you think about it, though, that sort of makes sense.
It does
if you're,
kinda make sense,
If
yeah.
you're
Drawing it in on yourself.
yeah, that's the thing. I think of it like Triple H, and then and then it adheres to your skin. Basically, you've got a mineral coating on the outside.
Okay,
of it.
chromatic orb says a diamond worth at least 50 gold pieces.
yeah,
But it doesn't consume it. That just means
have
it has to be a diamond at least big enough that it's.
it doesn't matter if you use a focus. You still have to have it down.
Okay, I think that's what she said.
Their idea of it is because like you can decide what elemental damage, and it kind of comes out as a color and lights
Oh,
going
okay, I
through the
got you.
diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, that almost gives you the idea that magic is
Like the wind.
cast through light.
Yeah.
It's just a different shade of light.
There's a creature in Fizzbands. It's a Dracohydra. It's literally a dragon, like a bunch of dragon heads
So
on
Tiamat, basically.
kinda.
Probably
It's
more
in that-
heads than Tiamat, though.
it has a prismatic breath, and like it randomly chooses like which breath attack to hit with.
Well, like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Now Tiamat, she has dedicated breath to each one of the heads. It's
right.
not a chance. It's this head's going to attack you, and it has poison breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the way that is too, but I think you do roll something like a d6 or something like that on it.
You would
too.
have to tell which one.
So where are we at before all this? Thren with the components of his
The most savage move of all time.
yeah.
man. So yeah, okay.
Thren upstaged Gillard, by the way. I was really excited about grabbing that big idiot, that big stupid bat.
I don't know how like that. Oh, that clip that AJ, that sound bit of
Yeah.
natural 20.
Yeah.
That was so awesome. I posted on Reddit. It didn't blow up like I expected. I thought that was going to be like trending. It deserved to be trending. So yeah, so after Corvus is dead, and you're out of the fight, and you're just focusing on.
Well, whenever you asked me to make that save, and I rolled the natural 20, I was like, maybe there's a chance that I can get out of this. So I started before that.
Yeah, I pulled you out of the crowded room into a private hallway.
Yeah, mistake number 2.
Well, that gave me the idea. I started thinking. I was like, if there's a way that I can get out of here, and I think you went back to their combat for a little bit, because she grabbed me by the throat, and I think you went back to them. That gave me enough time to think about how am I going to get out of
See,
this.
I didn't want to slow down combat by sticking with you for a
Right.
long time, so I'm sticking with the 6 seconds,
Yeah.
quick little things happening.
Yeah, that gave me enough time to think about what I could do, though. And I started thinking, I was like, if I can find a window and go out of it, I just need to be able to cast fly. So I immediately went and looked up fly. I was like, what is the component that you need? And I was like, it's a feather. I was like, pillows have feathers. So that's the reason I was asking if there was a room, there was a couch, if there was a pillow. And I was like, sure, okay, that works.
But see, she doesn't fear Thren. She's had him wrapped around her finger, she is this all-powerful vampire lord thing. And she's gonna control him. She's gonna get him back under. She just doesn't want him to make a scene and embarrass her sisters.
Yeah.
Here in front of everyone there. So she just takes him out. And
Who all else was in the room?
I don't know. He didn't look around.
I did not.
But now, then he got out, and then it just so happened you rolled the dang natural 1 on her following him. He would have led him back to the nest.
The bat. Oh my. Oh yeah. That was.
Did you even think of that she could transform?
I wasn't even thinking about the bat. No. If I would have thought about it, when she was actually chasing me, I should have cast fireball. I didn't have fireball.
What about a flying speed on a bat, though? What are we looking at here? Could she have kept up with him as a bat?
The natural one, and she lost him.
Well, yeah, I know, but what's your fly speed? 60?
60 feet.
I don't know what about.
I bet a bat's 30. I bet he would outrun her.
Well, it's a vampire bat though. Like I bet they're
Probably have.
they might would have her movement speed. I don't know.
She doesn't have 60 movement speed.
Have you seen vampires? In
Well, I mean,
movies?
I guess maybe dashing.
I don't know. But
And-
I mean, the natural one, he was able. Did that mean you saw her, or she just lost you?
He saw it,
Okay, and got away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but he could have easily. You could have gone to the ground and outrun her, or
I don't think that I did see her because I think I rolled pretty low on the perception check.
Well, she rolled a natural one.
Oh, he was on a stealth check, natural one.
Okay,
So.
okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess I did because I think I rolled like a 12 or something like that on the.
Yeah, I think you
perception.
saw it, and then he just said you eventually lost it.
Yeah.
So, like, at that point, were you afraid she was going to get you back under her? Like, what would you have done? Had to make a new character, or just not played for a while until we saved Thrent? Like,
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Maybe make a new
what would I have
character.
done?
Yeah.
I might would have sat you down for a while.
A bullet.
I don't know. That's wild.
Were you concerned with like once Corvus is dead? Now, were you maybe not trying as hard to keep Thrin in
No,
there?
no, I was. I
mean, I know you rolled
I was
for
never gonna
stuff.
kill him because like that's not what she wanted. She wanted
Right,
to just control
yeah.
him. Like I don't like. We talked like. I thought about trying to like get some kind of romantic angle going, but I mean, if she's mind controlling him, there's nothing romantic about that. That's just you know
have a little
like,
Voldemort. I mean,
Yeah, she wasn't going to ingratiate herself on him if he can't remember any of the conversations they've had.
Yeah.
So, and like, if he would have been awake and being held there, he would have been like reaching out with y'all for sending, like, hey, you know,
Right.
don't trust me, don't come to dinner. I so badly wanted to have a dinner. Dadgum.
Oh yeah, now that's not on the
Yeah,
table.
you don't have to do
But
that
we don't
anymore.
know. That's the next thing. We don't know where Thrin
That's
is.
true. That's true. But
They're just like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go back in, pretend I'm still under her control.
Come groveling back.
so.
No, you could just send to.
But no,
us now.
I absolutely thought he would probably end up failing because I mean she's just going to keep trying. He can't get away from her. I thought.
Would she have kept trying when he actually attacked her though?
Yeah, because like once she
didn't
has
hurt.
him in control. Yeah, once she has him under control, then he's fine.
So even though that was a clutch moment, and it was really cool to go through. It really wasn't that big of an impact to her. He'd probably damage her dress, and that would piss her off at most. Okay.
Now, see, but she's also like, she's this hundreds-year-old vampire. So just because like I'm saying that they couldn't have a romantic thing doesn't mean that she didn't think it was a romantic thing or really enjoy his company with him being mind controlled. She might be taking this super personally. Like,
Tyrell, you have to role play in the future, getting some of your memories back, and like actually getting feelings for this Hobag we're gonna kill.
We had one really good night down by the pier.
because like she took him shopping, she put him in nice clothes, she was buying him books that he would enjoy. Like she's playing with him like he's her personal Ken doll.
That's literally what I was gonna
I
say. It's like,
wonder how much he told her now because it's
I
whatever she
thought about
wanted.
that a lot.
That's a
today.
concern.
I
It's a
feel
concern.
like their relationship is almost like that. If you guys seen Castlevania, that animated series,
On Netflix.
what is that vampire's name? I can't think of what it.
Starts with an A.
Yeah, I can't think. Or maybe it's an L. I think it's an L. Anyway, she like holds. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that series now. One of the characters she basically holds prisoner for like the longest time. They like kind of develop a relationship or whatever between the two of them.
Y'all need to read Dracula if y'all have not read it.
I read the Great Illustrated Classic.
Read the real one or listen to it on Audible. That's really good.
Brought to you by Not Audible.
What's the difference? Like a Great Illustrated Classic, is it just like
It's condensed.
condensed it for kids,
Yeah.
basically?
For sure. Way easier.
I remember being scared by it. I mean, it was a little bit creepy for a fourth or fifth grader.
I read the Great Illustrated Classic of Moby Dick, and up until probably about a year ago, I was like, yeah, I've read Moby Dick, totally. No.
I did. I read
I've read-
Tom
yeah.
Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, Dracula.
I tried so hard to read Moby Dick so that I could get all those points from the AR system because Moby Dick had like 56 points. Failed that test.
I tried to read War and Peace. 118 AR points. Tyrell doesn't even know what we're talking about. Do you know what AR
Homeschooler.
points are?
AR was there while you were still in school. You went to school through third, didn't you? Third grade? Yeah, you.
I didn't know he was even in school at all. I thought it was completely homeschool.
It was AR in third grade. Which
A la
I guess
carte.
your third grade was our
A la carte?
sixth grade.
Not a la carte? Okay.
I think everybody had AR. I mean, down to probably first or second.
I
grade.
don't remember doing AR until fourth, fifth.
Yeah, I remember 5th grade. We still had the book it.
But I remember kids trying to go take the Harry Potter test, and because Goblet of Fire was.
You cannot pass Lord of the Rings if you didn't read the book.
Holes. I was always told Holes is just like the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It is, isn't it?
Very close.
Pretty close.
Remember Derek did a a book report and he didn't read it. He's just saying everything that happened in the movie.
Really?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember.
And then
that.
like
That's
all of
hilarious.
us were helping him, and then this happened, and then this happened. He's like, "Oh yeah." That was so funny. That was Miss Jane's class.
When I hit, I think junior high, the AR stuff reset. Retook all them Harry Potter points. Week 3, #1 on the charts, baby.
At some point, that ours reset, and I took all of them, every book I'd ever read in front of in Miss Clark's class, and I got 800 points, I think. And she gave me so much stuff. She just gave me things because she was so impressed that I had 800 points.
Dude, Miss Clark was always cutting me so much slack. Okay, let me tell you what. I was in.
We're
beta.
way off base here.
I know, but let me just get through this real quick. I was in beta club, all right?
Yeah.
Didn't maintain the GPA, not at all, okay? I did not do good at all.
2.0.
I did not know that Tate struggled in high school. I thought Tate was one of the top 8
No,
kids.
I was so lazy. I didn't do anything. I mean, I was there in class and I understood what they were saying and everything. I just didn't ever do homework, ever.
I did homework.
I don't remember having homework at Concord.
Oh, I had homework.
I did all the time. Rarely did it.
I remember the homework. The reason I remember the homework is because I'd get yelled at for not doing it every week. Every week it was a thing. So anyways, back to beta club. I was all the time fluctuating, dipping below beta club, right above it. I mean, nothing good, okay? And she's like, Anthony, Miss Clark really wants you to do really well because I know you're just so smart. Miss Clark knows it.
This is the best impression I've ever
Miss
seen.
Clark knows you're so smart, and I just want you to do so good. Now, you're on probation in beta club, but don't you worry a bit. Miss Clark's oh my gosh,
She got him on her so bad
she always
at the time, but such a good teacher.
Yeah, when you have a teacher that's really old
She cared so much for every
and
kid.
cares so much and refers to herself in the third person, it's
Talked
just
about
like,
little Johnny back there.
We
and she always brought up Johnny. That's
funny
right.
story. Can't remember if it was 7th grade. I had Miss Soliday, so it must have been 8th grade. I had Miss Clark 2 periods in a row. I had her 7th and 8th period. One was some stupid
Keystone.
Keystone.
It wasn't Keystone. It was
Keystone
something
was so
else.
ridiculous.
It was fun with Miss Harlan in 7th grade. But
I'm sure Miss Harlan made it fun.
who'd y'all have it with?
Miss Clark.
Oh my gosh. Well, this was 8th grade. I don't think you have Keystone in 8th grade. Keystone's probably not even.
I know what a paradigm shift is because of Keystone. That's the only thing I know from
and
Keystone.
7 Habits of Highly Effective.
Yep, that book. Yep. Anyway, Miss Clark had her 7th and 8th period, and we brought a hay bale clicker to school, and clicked it all year to see how many times she called herself Miss Clark.
What did it get to?
We sat there in class with a hay bale clicker.
What was the result?
I don't remember. It was in the it was in the thousands.
Oh,
No, thousands.
quadruples, yeah.
I mean, you'd get 10, 12 a day
Yeah. In one class.
in one class, and we had 2 classes with it.
Yeah.
She had an iguana that
Uh-huh.
was used to smuggle drugs in from Mexico.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't remember
How
that.
does an iguana smuggle drugs?
People would cut it open, stick drugs in its.
Like a fake one?
No, a real iguana. And then sew it back up and send it across the border.
And it was
she-
alive.
Cool.
And she had it. How did she have it?
It was someone they caught
What,
it,
rescued
and
it or something?
She rescued it. Yeah.
She also had a bird.
And she also goes to Mexico every now and then.
We got some kittens. Yeah, she passed away.
Okay, so
Rest in peace, Miss Clark. But we
Great teacher.
we got some kittens from her one time. So I've been in her house before.
She almost hit a school bus one time because her brakes went out or something. Like she was falling behind a bus and her brakes just went out and she had to like swerve to miss the school bus when it stopped to drop a kid off.
You know, my dad, or like at least my uncles, had her too.
My grandpa had her.
Your grandpa?
My
had her?
grandpa had Miss Clark as a teacher.
you guys remember Miss Cartwright?
They said she was a great teacher. Yeah,
The
she was
sub?
only a sub when I was
Yeah,
there.
yeah. She taught my grandpa.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know.
Why
if that
would you
means
come
as
back
much
and
more.
sub? And she was always like a miserable.
She was so.
I didn't think she was miserable. I just thought she was real. She
We're way off
She,
base.
she knew what she wanted. You know what I mean?
She was on a
She had a
razor's edge
standard.
all the time. Like, just sit back there and supervise the class. We've got work to do.
Which sub fell asleep?
Miss Hawkins, probably.
No.
Miss Hawkins
Oh,
used to fall asleep all the
she
time.
was a sub.
How do y'all know
Before
your
she was a
subs'
teacher, wasn't
names?
she?
No, she was a sub. Well,
We had the
she
same
was a teacher,
subs.
Then she left. Then she came back as a sub. And then I think she, like, Miss Clark got hurt one time. I think she fell and broke her hip. And Miss Hawkins filled in for her from, like, then until she retired.
We only had Miss Cornelison, Miss Cartwright. That might have been it.
Who was
As
a sub?
subs?
Yeah.
What about Miss Raymer? Did you have her as a sub?
No,
Never
she
in
was
high
a
school.
teacher.
Yeah.
Remember?
Miss Raymer. Oh, the daughter?
The daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In grade school, I think I had her. I don't know if I ever had her in high
I
school.
remember her in high school. Yeah,
I remember a lot of people saying bad things about her.
very mean things. Yes,
I've got a
Kids
dozen.
are horrible.
I've got a dozen stories about.
dude. When you lock up all these developing little minds in one area and you have a bunch of them just ruminating, terrible things.
Can I
happen.
please tell you a story about her? It's the funniest thing of all time.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a senior in high school. Me and three of my friends have this. We had like 2 or 3 shop periods a day. Okay. There was one of them that was. It wasn't a shop. I don't think it was a shop. Maybe it was ag business or ag leadership, some goof off class. And we were always just back in the. We were just like back. The teacher didn't really make us do that much. We'd go back in the shop. Like he always had projects back there, and that like all the classes were working on. Like we'd go back there and we were building picnic tables to sell. And he bought this really crappy horse trailer that they ended up like repainting and repurposing and using it for the ag program. So we worked on it a lot and like grinded all the old paint off of it and stuff. Anyway, we were just always in the shop goofing off. Well, we would like just find our way down to the gym a lot. And we go hit golf balls or like chip and putt, or we go in the gym, talk to coach, just stuff like that. Anyway, we went down there one day and it was 7th grade PE and Coach Strother. It was Coach Strother's class. We were down there talking to Coach Strother. The kids are playing boys versus girls wiffle ball in the new gym. And the girls are like hollering and complaining. I guess they're getting destroyed. And we're talking to Coach Strother. He's like, y'all get out there and be on the girls' team. We're like, all right, let's go. So we get out there, kind of spread out in the outfield. One of us pitching, one of us playing first. A couple of us playing one shortstop outfield. We spread out where we had pretty much covered. And, of course, we just start going off, But it was pretty evenly matched because the boys could hit the ball well. One day we go down there, and Miss Raymer is the sub. And, she's a big athlete. We're out there playing.
Sarcasm.
Yeah. We're out there playing. She's just the sub. Well, we play a couple innings, and she goes, are all you boys on the girls' team? And we said, yeah. And she was like, well, how's that fair? We said, because it's a full team of boys against a full team of girls, and we're just helping the girls out. She goes out there on the boys' team.
She's going to make the
She's going to make the boys' team better, okay? It comes down to like the last at bat. There's 2 outs. We're up. The bell's about to ring. It might have already rung. You had to have your last out, even if the bell's rung.
Uh-huh.
Little kid's up there to hit. She walks up there, takes the bat from him. Takes the bat. She's going to save the game, okay?
Oh.
Cameron's on the mound, not Cameron on the podcast, my other friend Cameron. He's holding the ball. He turns around and looks at us with the biggest grin on his face I've ever seen. He couldn't believe what he was watching. Soft tosses one down there. She takes a wild swing, grounds it back to Cameron. He picks it up and slowly tosses it over to first base.
Oh no.
And she was running as hard as she could to first and barely moving. I mean, it was one of the funniest things ever.
Oh no.
Oh, that's one of my favorite stories from high school ever. I may bleep her first name on every time we've said it, so just for
Only you.
don't want to. What do you? Oh, I'm the only one that said it.
So.
Anywho, I don't know how we got there. That's some common life. Was there anything else about the game we needed to talk about?
Old school common life.
Old school.
A lot of people listening to this probably don't care about the game. They just want to
No one cares about our teachers.
hear the
either.
bull crap anyway. That's relatable. It's funny.
Yeah. So like y'all cleaned up. Man, your sword was the correct thing to use against Grelka. Like
I realized that when we got in there. I was like,
Did
oh my
not
gosh,
know.
they heal. It's like they won't be able to heal.
Did not know when I had that sword. That sword was meant to make him a problem in a campaign where we didn't have any healers, and I didn't even think about that. And then we ended up with it and became a huge problem for Seth.
Who was
Remind me of this sword again.
whose was it? Fenris's?
No, it was
Airdrill's?
It was Airdrill's sword.
Airdrill's
His sword is designed to kill anybody that he has to deal with, and that's why I gave it to him.
The leader of the academy. Are you in
Oh,
the
head
campaign?
work.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
No, dude, I'm just like.
Come on.
have you listened to the campaign a second time?
I have been listening to 3 different campaigns.
That's a mistake.
Like currently,
And one of them's not ours.
I don't think. No.
Man.
I just finished Exandria Unlimited Calamity, and
It's only 4 episodes.
I know, but 6 hours long on the
Why would
last
you
episode.
listen to that? That's garbage.
It's not.
That one looked pretty good.
It's good.
Brendan
that
Lee
a new one?
Mulligan he's
amazing.
a good DM.
That's
The one that's the
That's
first one they did was
Exandria
that-
Unlimited.
Oh, okay. This is a new one.
watched
This is
the-
Calamity.
She's trash.
Oh, okay.
I watched the first episode of Tales of Drakenheim from Dungeon Dudes. I like those guys. They're really good as players.
Like when I catch up on Critical Role Campaign 3, I might check out the Dungeon Dudes because I've heard a lot of good stuff about them. I'll tell y'all what, I really like. I've sent y'all some videos from Trant Monk before, Trant Monk Temple. I like him. He's really good at what he does. Going optimizer. Like he makes smart builds and stuff. Really, it's just cool what he can do. He posted a game where he was DMing for the one D&D, which we're gonna talk about one D&D here in a little bit.
Definitely.
But he posted a game where he ran some guys through one D&D with following all the new rule sets, and like they made their characters with one D&D and stuff. I was like, oh, I want to see how this goes. I want to see how it is. That dude cannot DM. Oh my gosh! Like made me feel real good about myself real quick. Ridiculous voicing, but then like the players like talking to one of the captain of a ship about something, and the DM just completely ignores everything he talks about. I was like, well, I don't really like your guy that's.
Oh, is that
sent
video you
Yes.
showed me? Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I think people
It was a
pay him to
distraction.
DM for him too.
So like this guy, basically, what you would say his flaw is he's already got a track of stuff that he wants to say.
Burrows.
It doesn't matter what they ask. He's got his own
Yeah.
script.
I think it was technically a module that he was running.
Yeah.
But like, even if it's a module, like interact with what the
Yeah.
character's saying.
Yeah, like fluff it up a little.
Absolutely ignored. It was like something. It was bad.
That's what I disliked about the module. Someone asked me something like that, wanted to know something, and I was like, I don't know. Let me look at what pages I
If you
have.
want to run a module well, I think you have to memorize the whole thing. Like,
If you want to run it well,
I don't like them.
yep. I've gotten to where I don't like them.
I don't think I've ever.
Well, I think we talked about this last time on Say It in Comment, how if we're running anything in the Forgotten Realms, it's like you have to memorize a period of time.
Yeah, it's really complex. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's changed a lot.
And it's also why it's nicer to make up your own land, make up your own campaign.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
you
can
can-
set the rule, you can set the lore, you can.
And then you can freestyle and play off of it instead of you know.
It's just a lot.
Anything else anyone wants to say
Yeah.
about the campaign?
How did we get here? We were
last
talking about my
campaign?
sword.
Yeah, me. I am the crux of all of
I
this.
don't know. You took another cleric level, right?
I did.
We didn't talk on the
We talked
podcast.
about Rulify, so-
I went ahead and took a bard level, which was actually really big for me because I got an ASI.
And if anyone was wondering, I did take a fighter level.
Are you going fighter all the way?
Heck yeah. If I did it, I wouldn't dip more than 2 levels because I want Legion
What would you
of
dip
One.
into?
I don't know.
Warlock.
I think
It would have to be a
Yeah.
front-loaded class. So I mean, nothing else is worth it.
What was it like leveling up Thrin? 3 levels? 3 levels.
We've leveled up 3 times since we got here. I thought it was only 2, and we've had 2 big fights, so it makes sense.
level 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically,
I thought we were 8 when we got here.
but didn't we hit 7 from the
The bird.
No. We hit 7 from Hornbeam, right? So technically 7 to 8 is our travel and our a little bit of crap when we first got there. Then we hit 8 after Hornbeam, and then we hit.
You mean Dewberry? No.
Wait. 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've leveled up 3 times actually here. Yeah.
Yeah, because I leveled him up from 7 because he was 7 when I was leveling him up.
Okay. Well,
I don't
either
think that's a
way,
problem.
we played
We
like
just-
8 episodes in Galeport.
We just role play like a boss, and we just get that experience.
So that was fun.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a lot different right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he now has the ability to cast 5th level spells now. So
Thren's going to be a powerhouse.
Playing a wizard in Tyrell's campaign, I didn't even know the spells that were out there. There's so many cool spells.
Fifth level. I'm not casting 5th level spells. I'm an idiot. Great Weapon Master, I've lost that completely. It's gone.
We talked about that a little bit.
What, you lost it?
I am an idiot, dude.
Wait, no, you still have it though.
No, it is gone.
What?
have it?
Well, he leveled up.
I erased it. Because I don't have a great weapon.
Just
Get a great weapon. We were saying how we can play that off just by saying it's a heavy weapon.
Yeah, all we have to do is say your battle axe is a heavy battle.
You're not going to erase a feat.
I just did.
Well,
But okay. All right.
there goes.
I don't see why. I think you should be able to have great weapon master with any
This
weapon.
is the same thing Cameron was saying about Hex. Like, well, I would just make it work against ability checks.
I actually didn't know, and that's my bad, Seth.
I didn't know. I
don't
only
think-
know because of Critical Roles. These
I don't think it
Matt
made a
just keeps having to tell them no.
It didn't make a difference. It never came up.
No, it came up, I think, once, but it was all. It didn't matter because of Ryan's moonbeam.
Yeah.
It would have come up, but
Oh, okay.
But it didn't matter because Seth doesn't do.
Well, now
double
we know. We
disadvantage.
still learn stuff about the
But
game.
yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Hex
So
is, reiterate,
that
Hex
makes-
is what?
ability checks.
Ability checks.
The only
Ability
thing
checks,
worth hexing.
not saving throws.
The only thing worth hexing in a combat is strength or dexterity. Nothing else matters
Yeah, because if...
because
Well-
grapple is strength checks.
Right, but what requires... Say that I was a battle master and I used a tripping attack. Is that a saving
Attack roll.
throw? Well, I know,
Actually, does it exist in 5th edition? No. It's attack roll though.
well, I know I'm rolling attack, but do they save?
It would be it's so
That's a
tripping
saving.
is just
Are
Dexterity?
they dex checking against the trip attack, or are they dex saving?
I don't know.
Okay,
It's
so-
like shove is strength or dexterity or athletics or
contested.
acrobatics contested.
contested.
I bet tripping is too. I'm not sure.
I'll use the one that I know, which is grappling. It's an attack roll for me to grab you. If I beat your AC, I grab you. You then breaking out is a strength or dexterity check contested by I don't remember.
Strength.
My strength saving throw maybe or whatever my baseline is for whichever stat I'm using. And they have to get the problem is and why that makes Hex even worse. I basically have to look at them and go, are you strong or are you nimble? And I need to Hex the better stat because they can use either one to get out. If I Hex dexterity and they're like, I'm just going to break out with strength,
Yeah.
not disadvantage. If I Hex the opposite, then the reverse is true.
Yeah, well, see comparing that to Great Weapon Master, like you can't just change that. I mean, that's what the thing does. That's a huge difference. Ability checks compared to saving throws is a humongous difference.
That's a
but
huge
just
difference.
saying,
And
I'm
what-
going to use this lighter weapon and it's still going to do great weapon damage because I'm using it two-handed. I don't see how that makes a difference.
It just makes a difference
It's
because
a
it's a
flavor.
rule. It's like you couldn't.
But
a
the
rogue-
rule
Well,
a
doesn't
rogue
hurt
can't
you.
use a heavy weapon to do a sneak attack. You know,
Or
it's just
heavy
a rule.
weapons can't do finesse damage.
Yeah, it's just a rule.
That ma-
I mean, it's
yeah,
Based
I
off
get
of
it.
Weapon functionality. It's like
It would be the same argument that I feel like the equivalency would be like using Shield Master for like some really heavy armor. You know what I mean? You can interpose that
It's
between
just
you
there's no negative trade-off. It's not like you were getting something extra because you did that. You're actually doing less damage than you would have been if you used
the
a great
trade-off-
weapon.
The trade-off is all the heavy weapons are not finesse weapons, so you can't take Great Weapon Master and be a dexterity damage dealer.
Yeah, which it doesn't matter anyway because he's a cleric.
Right, doesn't apply to his situation, but people would do it.
Oh, okay.
No, because it is a rule and we haven't followed it at all. Like,
and I mean, and up to this point,
if I'd have given him a heavy
If you
battle
held-
axe, it would have been fine.
No,
up to this
But we
point,
didn't.
I could have been using a great axe.
I blame Seth
Because I've been using it two-handed.
because I gave them a magical, amazing great axe that when stupid Mr. Cleric touched it, he's like, "You feel burned. Don't say say you feel burned. Don't say that. The gods don't interfere with what may or may not be a cursed weapon. She didn't care when freaking a demon was in our party in the form of, warlocking Cameron's character. Why would she give a crap about a cursed
That's
axe?
funny. That's funny.
The only thing that I could express in that moment was what happened. It burned me. That's all I said.
I
I didn't say don't use it because it burned me. I just
no,
said
they
it
wanted
burned
me to use it.
But the fact
It would have been a good weapon for you.
we have another person who would have used it, him or Cameron's character Ernst, but because
Blame them,
But
not me.
Right, for metagaming, because did your character turn around and say, "Oh, it just burned the crap out of me"? I don't know. I just know. I think the assumption here is that you, because Seth told you, we all hear it. You then make it aware to us.
Oh, it's evil. Don't touch it.
Yeah, it's like we have had a great axe in our front.
But AJ's hearing voices anyway.
Yeah. Which that wasn't why I didn't use it. I didn't use it because Quincy wouldn't want to use that. That's the only. I'm just from a role playing and from a flavor standpoint.
You almost were just daggers because you started the game with daggers.
I know, but the first weapon I got was a spear. I just feel attached to spears. I still wish I could go back
Also,
to spears.
can't use it because you're small, which is also lore for heavy.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, that's what I said. Like, I can't use that.
And see, I don't like that role.
I don't like that either. Because
If it's a magical weapon, it should shrink down.
True. That's what I would say.
that's what magic weapons say. And also, if you have a strength of 20, I don't care how small you are, you can be a cricket, and you can still. I mean, that little cricket on Dragon Ball Z could wield anything that's heavy. That dude was a beast. He could beat Goku up back then.
Cricket.
You remember him from Dragon Ball Z when they
never.
were on King Kami's planet?
Never watched.
Maybe he wasn't strong. Maybe he was fast. Maybe that's what it was. He was fast. Maybe he wasn't that strong. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I just know they couldn't catch him, and I don't think he was weak because the
Was
gravity.
Bubbles faster than him, though?
Bubbles? No. Cricket was fast. Bubbles. They had to catch Bubbles first.
Okay.
Seth was. Oh yeah, you want to talk about D&D 1 or 1D&D or whatever?
That's one D&D clarifies
move to
our
that.
issues with
What is
Hex.
this?
Huh?
What is this?
It's the new.
It's
It's going to be, it's 5.5. Some people are saying it's pretty much just 6th edition.
Well, it's gonna be 5. It's basically it's.
They're just building off of 5th edition rules and I think making a lot of improvements.
Yeah, me too.
Now,
With the exception of crit.
This is just playtest material right now. So,
It's not expected to come out until 2024.
yeah, it's going to come out in 2024.
Can we? Is there anything that you want us to try to implement, just to test? Or
I've thought about it. Something I thought about implementing is the.
First level feat.
Nah, it's too late for that. I kind of gave everyone a first level feat by doing the half feat from the academy.
oh, but also level starting at 0, we got
I didn't get
buffs anyways.
I thought when
Our
people do a
health is
recount,
way above.
I give them
Yeah, inspiration.
inspiration. I thought about implementing the inspiration rules because it's kind of interesting.
Do not implement the crit rules. I hate
No, the crit rules are stupid. And we'll talk about all this. But the inspiration rules is like humans I know just get one when they wake up. You just get an inspiration for
Oh,
being
really?
yes,
Did not
for
know
being
that.
a human. The way
So
inspiration
basically, everyone has human determination now.
yes, all humans do.
Right.
Yes.
It's their racial bonus.
Yeah.
As playing somebody who's played a variant human with human determination as their first level feat sucks. Not a good feat.
But the way inspiration works in this playtest is if you get a natural 20 on anything, you get inspiration that you can give yourself advantage on.
But you can't
If
have more than
you can't
one.
have more than one inspiration. Also, if you go like it disappears at the end of the day. When you go to sleep, it disappears. But what another cool thing is if you have an inspiration and you get a natural 20, you can give inspiration to someone else. So it's just giving a lot of people a lot of just
I didn't know that part either.
Yep.
I haven't actually read it. I've just heard a breakdown of it.
there's gonna be feats, kind of like the one that
The feat tree.
the leadership thing. It's kind of inspiring leadership feat now.
Super broken.
The way they're doing it is you can inspire, like you can just give a little speech during a short rest or something.
So basically,
and
they're
give-
taking everything away from bards.
Inspiring leader is not a bard thing.
Yeah, I thought College of Valor. That's something that you get, isn't it?
No.
I
It's a
mean,
feat.
I saw.
See, if I was a bard, I'd probably take that though because it fits in. Anyone could have that feat, but if you're a bard, you might as well do it, like it because that's your stick.
They've sort of nerfed feats in a way where it's now a feat tree where you have to build your way up. Kind of like older feat. It's actually a step back in some ways
3.5.
because 3.5 had that. But the problem is, I guess, when you take that list of feats, ideally you can pick out probably 15, and then you'll never use the rest of them ever with any.
So
character.
it's like a video game where you put points into a thing.
Kind of like Skyrim with its skill tree kind of thing. Like,
That's what a
you go-
feat is. When you take a
That's-
feat, you get pieces.
Well, you can, but like you don't have to continue on the tree. You can
No.
get other feats and stuff. So like everyone is going to get one at level 1 now as
matter
part of
what
instead of as your race, it's your background. Like backgrounds are way more important.
Oh, that's good.
Which
I
is
like
cool
that.
because
Yeah, you don't get racial bonuses anymore. So like how
you
half elf off the top of my head,
you
it
do
had
get
a plus
racial-
4.
You
No.
don't get stats from races, but you get like
Stats from backgrounds.
But you do get abilities from backgrounds, racial, basically biological. I think is the way they phrased it.
So the way it is now, let's just take human because that one's easy. You can like just normal human, you get a plus 1 in every stat just because of a human. Doesn't matter if you're a sailor, urchin, whatever as your background. Now humans just have kind of they can speak common. They get 2 feats. They get an extra feat at level. To start off because they still want to like humans are supposed to be like this adaptive race that can just come in and compete with elves and dwarves and half orcs and stuff.
I didn't know if they
or
were
orcs.
giving them the extra feat.
Yes, you
but
get 2
the-
feats.
The Wake Up Inspired was definitely
Wake up inspired, yeah. So, but now depending on what your background is, and they're pre-making some backgrounds. Like you can still choose like your scholar or your all the backgrounds that's in there. They're gonna write up some, and it's gonna be like you can put a +2 to this and a +1 to that. Everything is getting +2, +1, but they want you to just create your own background.
No more mountain dwarfs.
Yeah, there's no dwarves.
Mountain dwarfs got 2+2s.
Oh.
Everything. Well, half elves got a +2 and then 2 +1s. But so now everything just gets a +2, +1, which Tasha's implemented that into their what was it called?
The lineage system. It allowed you to put +2 to.
Yeah.
I think it even allowed you to do 1 and 3 different.
Yeah,
things
you can
as
do
well.
a 1 +1 +1 +1 as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, but now if you want to be a half orc, not a half orc. They've done away with half races. There's no half elves. There's no half orcs. Technically, you can make anything a half race if you want. Yes, your chili smells good. We can smell it.
Not in that. That's disgusting.
Let's see. What was I saying?
No half races.
No half race. So if you wanted to be an orc wizard, you're not just like getting
Wizards dump status strength.
Okay, let me ask you this
Orcs
then.
plus
So if
2.
you're playing in like the D&D realm with D&D lore, now there's a whole set of races that aren't there?
No, all the races are there. They've even added an extra race.
There's not a default. What he means by no half races is you choose what's going to be your primary, and there's probably
if you want to play a half
version.
orc, you just say you make either an orc or a human. You choose
But you're
what.
still a half orc.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically-
there's just nothing special about
Basically,
being a
it's
half
just
orc.
your flavor. You can say I'm a half orc, but then choose which one you want.
Okay.
Systematically and for
I like that.
Same with yeah, I think it works really good.
Basically, how it goes is my dad was an orc, my mom was an elf.
You can- yeah.
I favor the orc side.
Now
of
you
my
could be a
lineage.
half orc, half halfling. Like you can
Okay.
make any.
That would be
Okay.
insane.
You could.
Wouldn't
Yes, you can.
that be a goblin?
Maybe. No, it's not. But that's funny. But no, I think people's gonna probably come up with a lot of cool names for all these half races that are gonna exist now that like you can just
one?
yeah.
I'm gonna trademark that.
What would an orcish dragonborn be?
An orc born.
Oh yeah, Dragonborn's definitely
dragon
part of it
orc.
because the guy was complaining
A
about his
scaly
breath
orc.
weapon not getting better.
Scaly orc if they're orc. But if they're dragonborn, what would they? They would be a tusked dragon.
I think I may be wrong about this, but I think in Spelljammer, like the original old Spelljammer, there was actually a race called Skrull.
Scro.
They're orcs backwards, but they're space orcs.
That's okay. That's Warhammer 40k.
But they're called Skrull, not orcs with a K.
Which is coming to Magic the Gathering. I've heard.
The Scro?
No, Warhammer 40k stuff. Magic the Gathering. They're getting Commander Warhammer card decks coming out.
I wonder if they have a crossover with D&D at some point.
I thought they already kind of had.
the Gathering?
No, Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Magic the Gathering and D&D already had a crossover.
Yeah, aren't they made by the same people?
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast.
Okay, that's what
I don't know
thought.
about who makes Warhammer.
I don't know.
Don't know. I've never been.
You didn't know that Magic the
Too
Gathering?
expensive for my blood.
And I hate making minis and painting minis.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
There's Warhammer 40K, and then there's just Warhammer, which
There's a bunch of variations. Of
What's
Warhammer.
40K?
40. It's
Like
the
what's
year
it,
40,000.
Oh, okay. I know
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't actually say 40K. It's Warhammer 40,000, but people call
Yeah.
it 40K.
40K is when the space crap happens, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
I
They,
have
uh,
really long eyebrows.
I've heard stuff about Warhammer. Like I think somebody went to college. It may have been Hans. Went to college with some guy that was super into that, and just had like thousands of minis. Like
That's the
D
game
and
of
D,
minis.
Yeah.
where D and D is about creating one character and focusing on that. Warhammer is you have
create an
armies.
army.
You
Yeah.
focus on your army, yeah. And there are armies aplenty. Crazy amounts.
Let's see what else. They come out with a new race called the Ardlings or something. It's like the opposite. It's somehow it's what it's an Azamar, but it's not.
No, it's not an Aasimar.
It should be like
It's supposed to replace the Aasimar, but also replace all the beast races at the same time. It's stupid.
It's celestials that have animal features. So you can be a dog person. You can be a
I
monkey
was
person.
watching a review. I don't have a problem with the beast inclusion, but what they should have done is divided it up like they divided up Tiefling. Now there's a variant of Tiefling for each of the three lower
They
planes.
did. Ardlings have 3 different.
Do they have 3? I guess I just haven't. I guess maybe this was a playtest before more was released.
Tell me
But
about this tiefling thing.
Tiefling. There's I don't know the 3.
there's a hell tiefling, an abyss tiefling, and whatever the third one is called.
and they just get different spells. Now this guy actually knows quite a bit about 1D&D, so he should join this conversation.
Tiefling.
But yeah, so I didn't know they did that with the Ardling as well. That was kind of the whole. I don't know. I don't want the Aasimar to disappear.
I don't think it is because they might have given it 3.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Azamar, that is that it is a playable character that is celestial. Is that what it is?
Basically, it's the descendant or child of a celestial.
angel.
Same with Ardling.
Okay. Now in the Monster Handbook under Angels, there's they're not listed in that, are they?
I think if you wanted to compare the two, Ardling is just celestial child, and there's a lot of celestials, whereas Aasimar typically are purely angelic.
Okay.
Maybe
See, I think that's where I'm-
Archons, because Archons look angelic, even though they aren't. Archons are old belt law. They don't care about good. They care. Well, they do, but they're like paladin celestials.
Now what we were just talking about grappling and all that. Why don't you come get on my mic?
Hop on a mic.
What are you even doing right now? Why would you sit over? That was what Dustin was doing. I'm not sitting in a chair. I'm going to kneel down at the table.
The chair squeaked last time.
Yeah, just come over here, Ryan. There's a mic. This one at least.
Yeah, it was.
We had to throw it away. It broke. I think it was breaking anyway.
Oh,
I think
that's what the squeak
It
was
just
about.
it fell apart one day. I don't know why it didn't fall apart while he was sitting in it. It just fell apart
Tension.
one day. I guess.
Tension holds thing. It's about like when somebody gets pinned by a car up against something. You move the car, they're dead. You keep it there,
Oh,
and
like
they can
in
at
Signs.
least give you their last will and testament.
Like Signs.
Is that so?
That happened in Signs. with
I
the
didn't
mother.
realize.
Let's see what else. What else is in 1D&D? Now, what I was everything you just talking about grappling and stuff, they've done away with. Like they're changing the rules on grappling and contested stuff like that. It's all part of unarmed strike now. So I guess monks just got a massive upgrade, which is cool for monks because everyone says monks are really weak. But like, so on an unarmed strike as a bonus action, Kyle could technically try to trip someone or shove someone and stuff like that as part of his.
That tavern brawler character you had, if he comes back, he'll get a big buff too.
Yeah, the feat system though I'm super excited about because I mean, feats are weak in 5th edition right now.
Well,
There's 3 or 4 good ones.
there's a handful of you have to take this if you.
There's not enough feats. There's about to be a lot more feats.
That's cool. I like that.
The long range version of Great Weapon Master is.
the
Sniper.
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter.
Warcaster's good.
I mean, it's Warcaster situational. It depends on who you are. I have it, but
There's some of those that like it's a really cool ability that you get, but then it's like I
Crossbow
waste a
adept.
whole feat on that. Like the where you can take spells out of any class and
crossbow
stuff
expert?
like that.
Magic Initiate.
Yeah, those are like a
man.
waste to me. Like you're gonna use a whole feat to get a couple spells.
Yeah, and not anything above first level, which is understandable. But it would be cooler if you could build up to eventually get. Like, I mean, I understand not passing third or fifth level depending on what you're doing, but I don't know. It would just be cool because there are a lot of spells that don't really make you a powerhouse, but would still be fun to have.
I think it's going to be better. Like 3.5's feats were really good. I like
So
it.
basically, we're on board with it.
I am definitely on board.
Okay.
Like I said, I hope
We'll
to
see.
finish
I
this
haven't
game
looked at it.
before 1D&D truly drops because I would like to.
Surely we can finish.
Surely we'll be done by
by
then.
2024.
Yeah, I think Pathfinder 2 looks good too. I mean, I would like to try that.
I think that 5th editions is stealing a whole bunch from Pathfinder 2.
The Lineage thing is right out of their stuff.
The movie you pointed out is even stealing stuff from Pat.
Their Intellect Devourer, they actually took the art from. Dude, I can't wait to see that movie though. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think a lot. No,
I just
it was
hope
a
it's
script.
not like Warcraft.
Listen. You guys talk about how bad it was, but it really did well overseas. All right, it blew up in China. I kind of liked it. I liked it.
I mean, it wasn't that bad.
What
just
movie?
Warcraft.
Warcraft. It's not that it was a bad movie. It was a bad movie for anyone that didn't go in there wanting it to be a good movie. That's not good.
I think
If you didn't go in there,
I don't think I even
wanting-
understood that.
if you didn't go in there as a Warcraft fan or a fan of fantasy, then you're not going to walk away saying, "Wow, that was so cool." Can you believe they name dropped one of the paladins from the Warcraft game? Holy crap!
See, that's the thing. I was never really
didn't know
invested
enough
in
about
Warcraft lore, so I was just like, "Oh, this is really cool. I bet you that's an important person."
Yeah,
I know enough about it to know that was a name drop. How cool!
I talked to my buddy who is a Warcraft fan. He's like, "Yeah, they talked about one of the big persons in the future, or the Ruined King. Woo, go Death Knights."
Oh, dude, it cracks me up that I'm seeing the Wrath of the Lich King commercials on YouTube right now. That is so funny because that's like right when I started playing World of Warcraft was when Lich King came out.
That's right. When I wanted to start playing, but it's
I
too
actually
boring.
looked up the year because I was like, "What is this? 2008?" Because that's what year that first dropped.
Yeah.
And they're re-dropping it in 2022.
You know why? Because their biggest servers are all
Is the classic WoW.
legacy servers where nothing went past certain versions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are Burning Crusade and a lot of people are Wrath of the Lich King.
I heard that Cataclysm was kind of where it started dropping off.
And the pandas.
Pandas were
And then
after.
Warlords of Draenor. or
Hey,
what was
hey,
it?
Kung Fu Panda did so well. World of Warcraft's like, we need pandas, y'all.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's exactly how I saw it.
It's what it felt like. It's what it
The
was.
executives were like, panda races are stupid. Have you seen Kung Fu Panda? Goes home, watches it, comes the next day. Panda races.
All right, we need Shreks now. Put Shreks in. I want all Shreks.
We already have Ogre, sir. My God. We're ahead of the curve.
That's true. That's funny.
Are there not
Anything
ogres
else?
in
Let's play some D&D is what I say.
Let's get some chili. and
Let's
then
get some
D&D.
chili and then we'll play some D&D.
All right. Hey, thank you for tuning in.
Check out Tiger Skull RPG.
Tiger Skull RPG.
Follow us on Twitch.
on Twitch.
Follow us on Instagram.
Insta.
Let us know in the comments of something. Should I have
and
killed Corvus?
Commoners 30 is still happening.
Commoners 30% off everything at TigerSkullRPG.com. At least go get like a cool shirt. I mean, come on, support the
You're
brand.
gonna go somewhere else. At least get like a cool shirt.
AJ, can you
Or a hoodie.
take our graphic and then put it on a shirt?
I could. I've been thinking about it, but I don't think anybody would buy it. It would just be us
I would
that have
buy
it.
it.
What's our graphic? What's on the podcast?
Yeah, our podcast art. I think that'd be a cool shirt.
I don't know if I
Hey, have y'all
would've
seen
made my
Ryan's
face
on
my
there now?
face.
But for funny, just
Ryan's
get
looking
the
sexy
one.
in that art.
I want to get the one before.
The only
Ryan's
place I've
on.
seen the art is on Twitch. I haven't seen it on Instagram.
It's on Twitch. I know I have it there. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get the
I probably
one
didn't post it
before
on
Ryan was
Instagram.
there, and then give him that shirt.
No, the one with Darren on it.
He's the intern.
Okay, I'm shutting it down.
He's the intern.
See ya.
Later.